Marvel Rivals. Back when it got first announced, I thought that I found my next obsession. Looking back, I wasn't just excited about the game, I was excited about the future I imagined around it. December 6th, 2024. 2 days before, my attention was turned to my baby brother's birthday. Then, I saw it. That one opening trailer. For an IP I recognized. Little did my brother know that he wasn't the center of the attention any longer. Marvel, but as a game. Even better, a hero shooter. But this time, with familiar faces I actually recognized. Baddie Psylocke, Jewish Vigilante, Not Denny Rand, Boring Archer, Whitewashed Widowmaker, Black and Yellow, a nuttier version of Squirrel Girl, and my favorite smelliest character, Wolverine, which I in fact ended up maining. I truly believed in the game. Because a Marvel IP with actual good art direction, with an actual innovative fantasy, and an actual good gameplay premise sounded like a good time. And the bar was set very, very high. The internet was hyped, my friends were hyped, I was hyped, but little did we know just how much this game was actually gonna surprise all of us. But not in the way we thought it would. Just remember launch. Nobody knew the meta. Did we care? No. Every hero felt broken. Did we care? No. Nobody cared. Not caring was fun. The chaos of not knowing yet was fun. Back then, every player was equally terrible, which meant that every match was perfectly balanced. Nobody knew what they were doing, including the developers. We were all just throwing abilities at each other and hoping for something to happen. And that was part of the magic. Remember the first few weeks? Everybody thought they had discovered the next broken strategy. Every Spider-Man player thought they were the main character. Every support player became more and more mentally tortured day by day. Every Wolverine player thought they were immortal. Personally, I was one of them. Why? Well, because Nightcrawler wasn't added yet, and a year and a half later, he still isn't. But it was also just because I've always been a big fan of Volvi. He's lethal, jacked, charismatic, cunty, lovable, with a centuries-long mysterious past, a person you'd love to know more about. Basically, he was everything that I wasn't. I became so invested in the game that simply playing the game wasn't enough anymore. Most people play a game and move on. But I started designing characters that weren't even in it yet. I wasn't just consuming Marvel Rivals, I was actively imagining its future. Nightcrawler was my first one, and actually, I only intended to do him and then never go back to YouTube ever again. But when I saw that the video got some traction, people commented telling me how good my concept was, stopping there felt like a breakup. So I kept going. Soon, I was spending entire evenings designing abilities for characters that didn't even exist yet. And before I realized, I didn't just make one concept, not even two, but 5, which isn't that many, but yeah, at least they were complete, thoughtful, and damn near perfect. I was imagining Quicksilver, Ghost Rider, Kitty Pryde, and designing potentially playable heroes felt like heaven. Having people compliment me on my designs felt like love. Seeing my channel grow felt like accomplishment. And receiving ideas for the next video felt like community. For a time, I felt like these videos could be immortal. Marvel Rivals and I, we were one. But then, the first few cracks began to show. The issue wasn't that Marvel Rivals stopped receiving updates. The issue was that the updates increasingly felt disconnected from the things a lot of people cared about. The reason trust eroded was mainly because of cosmetic choices, the community, weird priorities, and the worst one, balancing. For some obscure reasons, the dev team at NetEase love to ignore their player base. The most annoying part is that it's only half true. They are very, very generous, giving goodies when times are rough, giving free credits to the poor. Almost every skin can be purchased with none but virtual currency. And wait a second, that's basically just a pizza party. Alright, NetEase, throwing cosmetics on our faces to make us stop talking about the balancing issues ain't gonna work any longer. NetEase, a year and a half later in, and team-ups are still recycled, but in different font. Strategists still rule the game. Weird nerfs, weird buffs, What? New tech. Gambit is still permabanned, there are more DPS than supports and Vanguard combined, Ranked is still miserable, EA is still woke, and new kits are more and more out of character. Next to that, we have another issue, the identity crisis. Somewhere along the way, I stopped feeling like Marvel Rivals was a game trying to celebrate superheroes and instead started feeling like it was trying to farm Goonery life force from it to feed Kaiju Guangguang, the devourer of reality, to make him achieve his final form in order to turn this world into a try not to goon simulator. For example, on one side, we got Luna Snow, the nipple baby industry plan that nobody, and I mean nobody, cared about before the game, placed in it for the sole purpose of only receiving most of the cool and schmixiest cosmetics in order to attract new and weak souls. And on the other side, we got the rest. 8.5 seasons in, while Luna got a 524th legendary skin, Human Torch got found shot and dead in an alley. Every time a new cosmetic got announced, I found myself hoping it was finally going to be a hero I actually cared about. Human Torch, Hulk, Storm, heck, even Black Widow. Literally anyone else. And every time I opened Twitter, it felt like Luna had somehow escaped containment again. They do have an interesting tendency of making female skins sexual and legendary when it's only a coat with a skirt that has editable ultimate VFX, chromas, new sound effects, a bundle, emotes, but giving our goat growth absolutely nothing. The game is rigged. Luna, Psylocke, and Invis did in fact share their souls to take a trip to Tel Aviv just to be featured in almost every skin line. This is actually the greed that the Bible was warning us about. Wanna know what else the Bible warned us about? Lust. The reason Marvel Rivals is still standing today, except being a Marvel IP of course, is because all of the various goonery subreddits that exist out there. And yes, I know about them. And no, you may not. Ask me why. But hey, don't blame me. That's basically the second most popular activity regarding Marvel Rivals. The first is complaining about Marvel Rivals. Every player believes two things. Their main is weak and everyone else's is busted. Every patch note is immediately reviewed by thousands of self-appointed balance experts. Every patch note creates approximately 6 new civil wars. What am I, are you asking? I'm a self-appointed character design expert, of course, because at some point, I realized that I was having more fun making concepts than actually playing the game. And that was the first turning point for me. The game in my head had become more interesting than the game on my screen, because concepts represented possibility, while the actual game represented a disappointing reality. I wasn't in love with Marvel Rivals anymore. I was in love with the version of Marvel Rivals that existed in my head. The most disappointing part is that the game has actual infinite potential. And what are they doing with it? More Black Hat boss. Maybe Marvel Rivals didn't lose me overnight. Maybe it lost me one small disappointment at a time. One strange balance patch, one questionable cosmetic decision, one missed opportunity. I kept telling myself the next update would fix things. Then the next one. Then the one after that. Eventually, I realized that I wasn't even waiting for the next update anymore. The worst part is when you have invested that much into a game, because quitting feels like admitting defeat, especially when you've built a channel around it. At some point, I ended up waiting for a different game, but sadly, the game is never coming. But now I'm realizing something. Marvel Rivals hadn't changed into a different game. I had. Part of this breakup happened because I changed too. We were taking the same train, but that didn't mean that we were destined to get off at the same station. Now, here I was written for Marvel Rivals. Dear Marvel Rivals, I loved what you could have been. I chased the gleam, but lost the dream. I waited for the spark, but watched you miss the mark. I loved what you could be, more than what you'd become for me. I didn't leave because I hated you. I left because I loved you. Potential was all that remained. As for that, I am ashamed. And the hardest truth to tell is that I didn't leave because I hated you. I left because I loved you too well. Farewell to you, Marvel Rivals. If you've been here for the Marvel Rivals concepts, thank you. Seriously, those videos taught me more about creating than I expected. But I don't think that I can keep making videos about a game I no longer believe in. Not because I hate it, but because I care too much about the time I spent creating. And I'd rather make videos I'm excited to work on than videos I feel obligated to make. So if you like this video, I'm sorry, because Marvel Rivals will not be the main topic of this channel any longer. However, if you still like this video, I did too. So for my followers that are only here for the concept videos, be gone. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, I know, it sucks, but I also respect your time, so I'm setting you free from future frustrations because I will not continue the series. For the others that are here for me, I welcome you to this new journey. If you want to help me shape out future videos like this one, feel free to join my Patreon to support me and participate on next projects. You're all truly amazing. This was Bazileon, and I'll see you guys next time.